such a great group in the studio and out there across the world, right?
Yes.
Are you ready for a really good quilt?
Yes.
I'm so excited about sharing this quilt with you. I really am. But first, there's a story. You know that story? Do you believe this? I found this quilt in my neighbor's truck, all dirty. Or do you believe it? It was just laying around in their garage. This is the quilt that I found in my neighbor's truck, and I rescued it. Are you ready? I even washed it. Ta-da! And you all go, how could she do that? Well, now it's mine. And you can just turn around and you can just show over here and you guys all go, ooh, it's kind of soft. But whoever made this spent a lot of time on it. All of those diamonds. All those diamonds. And look, they match in the centers. And all of those inset seams. Oh my gosh, all of that work. And it was just dirty, and I love it. Isn't it nice? And it's cozy. Doesn't it feel good? It is hand quilted. It's just totally lovely. So you be sure and check out your neighbor's truck or their backyard or their dog kennel or wherever. So, beautiful diamonds. So now, you ask for it. Last month, you said, I want to learn how to use bias. Remember that? Are you ready? Ta-da! Oh, I thought we were going to do that. Okay, cut, retake. And Teresa did diamonds.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I love it. Oh, see, they love it. I forgot you had that in there. I had my story already. This is Liberty Star. Liberty Star. It is one of my favorite blocks, too. Oh, but look at this. I mean, perfect in the center, yeah? Inset seams, squares, diamonds, lots of time, lots of work.
I love that.
But it's beautiful, huh? You want to see the back? Okay, it's got a casing on it. No label, Teresa. Uh-oh.
Carol quilted this. That was
Okay, and so now I'm ready for my punchline. Are you ready? What is it? You ask for it. Ta-da! Guess what? No cutting diamonds. No inset seams. Whoa! Now this sounds good. Oh, here, you have to go because Jane can't see it. She's clear. Step out a little bit and go over this way so they can all see it. If you would make noise, you would get a better show, you know. Yes. And not only that is it really fun to do, but every piece of fabric in this quilt is from this 2.5-inch strip roll. Oh, wow, huh? Doesn't that sound good? And so this is actually a Riley Blake, and it's really cute, and it's called Single Goodness. Oh, but you forgot to show the back. You have to show the back, because I did buy the back. I did buy the back, and it's also Single Goodness. Isn't that cute? I know, I think it's really, really cute. Bring it back here again, Teresa. Bring it back. Don't give it away. Bring it back. Okay, now go to the front.
Now go to the front.
Merritt is getting your patterns here, but I happen to have one. Okay, so first of all, you need to count out 12 strips. What size are they? 2.5. Okay, we'll talk about that. And there's how many stars? 12. So you need to just have one light, one medium, and one dark. Makes a whole star. That's easy, huh? So first of all, you got to just open this jelly roll up and count out how many just for stars. Math. 24. You guys are good. Okay. And then you have lattice. Just 3 lattice. And we went with the light because you use medium and dark in the stars, the lattice is all light and you only need to cut up 3 of them. Ah, okay. Is that good? Okay, and then you need to have cornerstones. We decided, we auditioned several, but we decided we liked the dark, so you only need to have 1. They're 2.5-inch squares because the lattice is also 2.5, right?
Lattice is in the jelly roll.
Yeah.
The question that was asked.
It's in this roll. How about that? Okay, and this is all in your pattern, and then you have to have a border. Look what we did. We were really stuck. We couldn't find 4 alike. So this is really pretty cool. This was Teresa's idea. So we did 2 red on one corner, and we did 2 blue on the opposite corner because there's 2 of everything in this roll. Okay, and then we didn't quilt it. We sent it to Judy Jackson. She quilted it and she bound it. And see how she put the opposite fabric? The binding is also in the jelly roll. Ah, is that cool? Okay, and so it's just opposite colors. And there's one piece in here, stripe, that we just didn't know about getting the stripe in. I'll show you some of the stars, but we used it in the binding. Stripe on the bias always looks great, doesn't it? I know, I think it's really, really cool. Okay, and I just want to tell you that every single seam locks together. Every single seam locks together. Let me hear that again. Ooh, there are just 2 pieces in here. Yes. There's triangles and there's diamonds. Okay, this is going to help you remember. Okay, let me see. I have to remember my little joke. I don't want to say it wrong. Okay, this is how you press your seams. Triangles are out. Triangles are out. Can you remember that? Yes. Okay. And then, diamonds, whoops, diamonds are in. Can you remember that? Triangles are out, diamonds are in. Okay? All right, that's cool. All right, so Brenda is passing. Now you can hang it. Now you can hang it, and now I'm going to show you some of the things. This is really, really cool. We have 2 sizes that you're going to really love, okay? 2 of the big old boards, and we have it all ready. So what size are jelly? 2.5. Well, I said to Teresa, we are going to cut up a jelly roll. We're going to cut up 2.5-inch strips into 1.5-inch strips. And I was all excited. And she said, Elle, isn't that wasteful? That's Teresa.
It's
And-
mine.
Yeah, isn't that wasteful?
No,
And
Brenda.
I said, time is money. Whoa! And so there's all these, is that okay? Yeah. Time is money, that's very important, right? Right. Okay, so this is our first one that we're going to show you. The 1.5-inch strip die is here, and I should kind of show Eric. Oops. So can you see? These are all 1.5-inch strips. You can actually get 3 of them all lined up, right? And so I'm just going to cover them up. And if you guys have never seen a strip cutter before, this is so fun. I just couldn't imagine how you would ever do this. I'm still stripping, even if I'm wasteful. So you can cut, let's see, you can cut 6 layers at a time. Let's see, my strip is folded, so that makes 2, right? 2 layers. But you could put 3 more, you could put 2 more, so you have a total of 6 folded strips. 6 times 3 is 18. at one swipe. Ooh, is that cool? Okay, so that's good. So now we got two. Now we were wasteful, huh? Okay, so then just take, ooh, you can help me, Teresa? Help me. So you have to put pressure on it. I don't like to have my pieces all fall apart. And so I'm trying to put a little pressure and, okay, it's coming off, it's coming off. Woo.
There you go.
Okay, so now all we have to do is just get hold of the waist. The waist. Oh, but you can do a project with this. Not me. But you all know you can take those cords and you can take these these 1/2-inch strips and wrap them around the cord and turn them into these cute little baskets. Ah. Okay, so what's really cool,
That's my basket.
that's your basket.
But I know I need a bigger one, but this is what you can make. You buy the cotton and then roll it and then do this with it.
So there are 2 strips that are already here. 2 strips. They're medium and dark, and they're just folded and you don't do anything fancy. But the really cool thing is, I mean, we're hot. We want to get this done fast, right? You don't refold anything. You pull away both of the outside edges. You leave the one in the middle that is right sides together. You grab a hold of it. Ta-da! Ah! Truly amazing, huh? Okay, so that's ready. So put that's ready for me to sew. And Teresa can just take all of these, move that away. Okay, now we're going to show you the second strip die that you need. By the way, this is all in your pattern. If you look right on page 3, when we sew those 1.5-inch strips together and we measure them, they will be 2.5 inches. So we can cut all of our diamonds on the 2.5-inch strip board, the 2.5-inch strip board. And I have to tell you that whenever you get this, and we'll show Eric, because he can go close on it. He's doing a one-man show here. He's got this. He's switching. Okay, so see, this is the 45-degree line. Wait, I've got it wrong. On this end, this is the 45-degree line. See, it says 45 degrees. Well, there's only one. There's only one, and we go, we could cut a lot more on here if we had more lines. And so Teresa said, can I put lines on? Can I put 45-degree lines on? She's pushing, she can't wait. And she grabs it from me. And the next thing she measures, she'll show you, she draws another 45. And then she draws another 45. Ah, you want to show how you do it?
Oh, sure. And
Sure.
Eric, I'll just show Eric right here.
Okay, I'll just step aside.
Can you just hold it there?
Yep.
See, this is the 45-degree, and this is where you're going to line up your ruler. And I measure from the 45, the same 45-degree, 3 inches. Again, it's not because we're going to cut at 3 inches. It's because I want a little room in between. And you will see how I will line up your things. So all I had to do, just follow the 45-degree, put a ruler, put my 3 inches right there in the 45, and then draw a line. And I say, oh, wait, I think I can do one more time.
Ooh, what more?
And then I put another 45-degree, and see, I have 2 45-degree. I could not do the fourth one because I'd be too close to the end. But you certainly welcome to try, but I thought I'd be safe with 3. Okay?
That was good.
All right? So
Okay,
now,
so this is the 2.5-inch strip die. Okay, that's good. And I tell you, I made a mistake in my pattern. I think I measured 4 inches at one time. I don't know what. So if you see that, just change that 4 to 3. Okay, and so now The next one we have are the triangles.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, triangles are out. Triangles are out. And there's two different sizes. First of all, this is the die. This is the multiple 2.5-inch die. Remember, I love this one. I just love it. This is for cutting multiple 2.5-inch half square triangles. And so when we cut, we call it rough cutting. We cut with the rotary cutter and cut the rough cut piece just 1/4 inch around all edges to make it a little bit, have a little extra around the edge. So what I asked Teresa to do was to cut all my pieces on this background right side up because I have a hard time seeing. And so they're all right side up, so then, okay, so I'm gonna take this side right here where the label is, put it on the left. My machine is on, and by the way, you can fit this into just your Go that you hand turn, but the Go Big is on sale. Whoa, Go Big. Okay, so this one, let's just grab it. And again, I like to put a little pressure because I don't like it to all fall apart. And so then you just take and hold all of your pieces down. Oh my gosh, you could do 6 layers and look how many small triangles you get. Woo! And that's it. Ta-da! I'm gonna have a big mess here, huh? Okay, so this is the small triangles. It's the multiple, and the number is written there, right? And then we have large triangles, and they're 3-inch finish size, but we selected a die that has 4 at a time. It doesn't matter which die you use as long as your finish size is 3 inches. So I started looking around my sewing room. I was in shock about how many there were, how many different dies I had. But again, they're all just right size up pieces, and they're cut a little bit larger. And so you just need to have them mat the same size. I have the label on the left. Push it through. And there's yardage charts there that tell you how much you need of everything, right? Got it? Are you with me? All right, cool. And then just go ahead and turn it. And actually you need 8 per block. So look, if you have 4 layers, this one stack would be good for the left half of the block, and this would be good for the right half. So you don't have to literally count. I don't like to count everything. Okay, we doing good? All right, so I'm going to take these over here to my table, take my book, and go around. All right, there are 3 different seam allowances in this block. Oh, and let me tell you, you can do any seam allowance you want, but your star will be so wonky looking. Trust me. I spent a whole day trying to figure this out. And so they're all written right on page 5. And I am going to show you, unless you have, how many of you have the Sew Straight? The Sew Straight. If you don't have the Sew Straight, I highly recommend it for you because it's going to really help you out. It's a piece of plastic, and when you get it in your package, there are little tabs from Scotch. There's little tabs, but if you've used it and they got real, if they're not sticking anymore, you can go and actually purchase a new package. Did you know that? Or you can take these and wash them with soap and water, so they will adhere again to your sewing machine. I'm lucky because I have a sewing table. If you don't have a table, it's not as easy. But I agree? But you can manage it. So you just put these little tabs right on the back. And this is a nice big one. I have a package. But anyhow, you put the little tabs right in the corners, one in each corner. And the idea is, it says stitching line. It says you've got to line up the 1/4 inch line. It says align needle at end of feed dogs. Okay, these are your feed dogs right here. And I am going to cover up the bobbin cover, but it doesn't matter because you can just peel this back and just use it. Okay, so I'm sliding it in there and sliding it in there. And you can see that I'll put my needle down. Okay, and so this arrow, this line lines right up with my needle. Right? Got it? And you just stick it down. And let me tell you, sometimes, I don't think Teresa uses it. I depend on mine so much. I sewed my first star without this. Big mistake. Big mistake. So I'm just going to put this in place. And then this is my 1/4 inch foot that I'm using. Ta-da! I want to just drop it down. Get that in place. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to sew is the 1.5 inch strips. 1.5 inch strips. And what size are we going to cut our diamonds? 2.5. And so when we take these two and we sew them together, we'll open them up. They've got to be 2.5. Okay, so to tell you the truth, you can just sew these strips, but I find out that mine don't end up being 2.5. I have to do what I call a scant 1/4 inch. Okay, and so I actually wrote that there. If you want to do a scant 1/4, you have a stitch width on your machine, and I'm going to go negative and go to 2.0.
No, that's not. That is your extra wide.
Oh, I went the wrong way. I told her she had to stand here and tell me. Okay, go back.
To 4.5.
Okay.
4.5. This is regular.
Okay, so let me tell you again. So my regular needle position, center needle position is 3.5. How many of you have that? 3.5. Let me see, 3.5 center needle. Okay, did anybody ever tell you to do a scant 1/4? Okay, you have to move your needle to the right.
Can you put your needle up?
Put my needle up. I told Teresa she has to stand beside me because I get a little confused when I'm in front of the camera and trying to think of everything and do it right. So I'm going to hit the plus, bloop, to 4.5. Did you see my needle move a little bit? Watch my needle. Did you see it move a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to just put my foot down. Okay. Whoops, I already had it down. Okay, and let's see. I am just going to start sewing. And whenever you have your sew straight on here, I will tell you that you have to have your strip on the left side of this line. It's scant. It's scant. Have you ever done a scant seam? Okay. Huh? What did you say?
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. Well, sometimes. Okay, so I'm just going to pedal to the metal. And whenever I get a lot out there, okay, so I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it. I don't want to do all these and not have them work right. Okay, so you're going to push your seam toward the dark. I'm just doing a little corner, and then you take your ruler and you measure it and you lay it on there. Ooh, look at that. So is it 2.5? Is it 2.5 inches? Okay, so the first seam is scant 1/4. So if you can get that one, but I'll tell you, if you had a baby lock, there's buttons that you just push. There are 3 different buttons on my baby lock, and I sewed last night, and My first star took me about an hour to do. And last night I was hot. I think I did one in 15 minutes. Wow. Just pushing my buttons to scan quarter. Okay, and so Teresa is all ready. Look at you. Aren't you ready, huh?
Yes, I am ready.
So look at her. I just said I wanted to show all of you the big wool mat because I love it. And especially whenever you're doing these big long strips like this for your stars, you're going to make 12 of these sets, one for each star. And if you can have a big wool mat like that, then you don't have to keep on picking up your strip. Okay, there you go. Okay, so put it on your mat with your dark on top. See how you can go edge to edge? Don't you want a wool mat? A big wool mat. So you don't have to keep on picking up stuff. Okay, so you set your seam with a dark on the top and then just open your dark and you just press into it. And I always use my lead finger, a finger to lead it and kind of scratch it along and make it perfect. Are we doing good? Yes. Okay. So I'm glad there's so many new people because we got lots to say. Okay. So I'm on page 5, right? I'm on page 5. And now we're just going to take this. Good. So you're going to do 12 sets, right? One for each. Okay, so now she folded it in half. That's great. Because I'm going to use my cutting mat. Okay. Yeah. The numbers are not in order. Okay, I see them. Wait, I see them. I finally see them. Okay, so it goes one. I'm going to cut these into 14-inch sections. Okay, 14-inch sections. So the first thing that you want to do is trim off your salvage edges. We're getting ready for diamonds. Are you getting ready? Are you breathless? Okay. This salvage is gone. Go over to 14 and trim this one. Okay, here's 2 of them. You take those, put that right side up, and then open this. And this is the last one. And look how much you have left. Woo, pretty good, huh? Okay, so we're going to take and we're going to stack those 3 up. Those 3 14-inch strips will make 9 diamonds. Wow. 9 diamonds. How many do you need for a star? 8. So you have 1 extra. 1 extra. I haven't figured out what to do with that. Okay, so now turn the page and start with the one that says 45. Okay, can you see it? Let's see.
Eric,
Do you want to put it down here, Teresa?
yeah, you can.
Okay, here, I can do it.
You can
Okay.
do that and give it to me.
Okay, this is the 45-degree line. 45. Okay, we've got 3 all stacked up. I have the dark all stacked together. I'm going to put the dark to my right. I am looking at page, I am on page 6, and my dark is going towards the end. Okay, here it says 45, and the one thing that I'm going to really watch is that I cover this blade. Do you see the blade here? Okay, I'm going to cover it so I get a diamond cut. That'd be a good idea, right? That'd be a really good idea. Okay, there's one. Okay, now we have this second line. Teresa did these yesterday. Okay, I'm going to make sure I cover, I'm past that blade. They're all stacked up nice and neat, and they're hanging over on the end. That's okay. So let me see. Second diagonal, and now third diagonal. And we have all of the darks pointing to, it says, go, Accuquilt. You see this end down here? I'm putting all of them, the dark, in that direction. And you should have a picture of this too. What page? 6? Or am I doing it right, Alan?
Yes.
Good.
To the right.
to the right. Diamonds are in. Okay, so now we need to have the mat. Put the mat on. Are you ready for this? I want to hear the amazing noise. Ooh, ah. We were so excited about doing this. Okay, and I think I'll just take it here and do it on this line. Woo! Okay. How do you think I did? 9 times 3. How many diamonds did I just cut?
27.
Whoa, 27 diamonds. And using the bias. I hope the people that asked for that last month are here. Okay, slide this off. Slide it off. Whoop, we got one sticking. All right. Now, what do you think? Look at that.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. Are you impressed? Huh? Oh, it beats cutting them. And plus, when you're cutting them by hand, you don't always get the 45-degree angle right.
Not always accurate.
No, that's not always accurate, but look at that. And they're all pretty. They're all really fun. And I learned my lesson. Oh, this is extra. Alan, what are we going to do with these? Okay, so which color do you want me to use? This one? I love this one. I love the turquoise and the navy ones. I think they're so cool, but they're just really fun. Okay, so now we just now finished page 6, right? We're on page 7. We're going to place the 4 quarters. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of number 9. This could be a problem, this guy. So get rid of that one. Save it. Put it you could put it whatever. Okay, and so
I may have put a scrappy star on the back.
I know, I don't know. I didn't do it yet, but I'm going to. That's right, they could go in the back.
Scrappy star on the back.
There's one left of all of your diamonds, so you could make three scrappy ones. I love that. Okay, so now I'm making stacks of 4. Okay, does it look like that? I'm right on number 1 on page 7. Okay, good. Okay, so now I need to have these large triangles. I need to have 4. Remember I said when you cut, you have 4. Oops, this would be 4. Okay, so this was the one that always blows my mind. This is how they go. And I have to say to myself, bias is in. See the bias? This is all the stretch. The bias all goes in. And that's how you place those. And then you have the little triangles, the small triangles, and you need to have 4 of those. And that's really cool if they're right side up. And they're going to go on one side, and then 4 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Is it going to be good? Huh? Oh, it's going to be good. I'm liking it already. I love these colors. I had so much fun putting them together. I did it last Sunday in Julian, and when I did it, it said I didn't have any fabric, and I kept on thinking, how am I going to sew this together with my lattice and my binding and my borders? I have to go in and pick it all out, and I go, wait a minute, just use the rest of the roll. And it worked out good, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, so now we're just going to turn the page, and I love this spread on the next page because there's left half and right half. Does that make it easy? Yeah. Left half and right half. So let's just divide it right down through the middle. And I've been starting with the left half. The left half because It was easy, really easy. You do need to have a stiletto. Doo-doo. And the first thing that we're going to do, it says, do you see the little flippy arrow? It says pick it up and the diamond and flip it right sides together to the triangle. And you go, whoo, what am I going to do with this thing? How funny. But look, those dog-eared corners are all cut off. You don't see it at the top, but if you flip it over, you do have a tip at the bottom. Okay? So let's see if I can pull these two over here and see if I can keep it in order. Oh. Okay, so what I was trying to remember is that you sew on the dark. You sew on the dark strip, right? And guess what? This seam is regular 1/4 inch. And so that would be what number? 3.5. 3.5. And actually, see, if you just have your sew straight, if you line up with this line along here, right on the line, that is your 3.5. And I think I need a jumper scrap. You know how I get. So I did have to take off my my single hole throat plate because you keep on moving your needle around. And so now I'm just using a jumper. Okay, and see how my 1/4 inch foot, see how I'm just running that right along there, the edge? Okay, flip it together. 1, 2. Are you ready, Teresa?
I am.
Oh, good. So, what's the little saying? Triangles are out. Triangles are out. Triangles are out. And so Teresa is just going to go ahead and cut my triangles off the end and put the triangle on the top, set the seam, and press toward the triangle. Okay? Triangles are out. That's the rule. Triangles are out. Okay. So did you grab some? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I did.
Okay, all 4. One more here. Let me grab my jumper scrap. And so now comes the troubled seam. Whoa. I'll show you how that's going to look. Okay, I got a jumper scrap in there. I'm happy. Okay, the triangle. Triangles are out. Triangles are out. Okay, and so now we're going to just put this back in here. And we have to, let me just take one of them. And the little flippy arrow says to take the triangle. Am I right, Alan? Okay. Flip it. Right sides together. Whoop. Oh, it is. It's right sides together. Okay, now there is this issue. To keep the tip or to cut the tip off. What do you like to do?
Cut it off.
Cut it off? I don't care. You can leave your tip on or you can cut it off. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is it. When you look at this little thing up here. Does it look like a 1/4 inch? No. It's big, isn't it? Yeah. And the first one I made, I thought, I'll just do my 1/4 inch and then trim it off. No, don't do that. So this is wide. You have to do a generous 1/4 inch. Your 1/4 inch would normally be here, but you have to slide your 1/4 inch over to here to make it wide. So now we're going to go the opposite way, right? Okay, let me get it here. Okay, and you've got a tip hanging out.
Would you like to change it with?
I would like to. Okay, maybe I will, how about I pop my foot off? You want to see my needle move? Okay, whoops, I just popped it off. Get your needle up. I popped off my foot just so you could see it. Okay, So now it's at 3.5, and I am going to touch the little minus button. I'm going to go minus, watch it, to, I think, 2.0, right?
Yes,
This is
yes.
what I told you before. You see it going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it moved to the left. Okay. Okay. Now you've got to get your foot back on. See, I was really worried about how we were going to do this, but are y'all okay with it? Yeah. Oh, it will. My 1/4-inch foot has got a little bit there. Okay, so now when you use your sew straight, your seam is on the right side of the line. It's hanging over this edge. If you put 4.0 on or 2.0, that's good on your machine. But if you just use your sew straight 2, it's on the right side of the line. Okay? So look and see. Is it looking wide out there? Okay, this, and I got to look at the picture. And the bias right in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I think I've got it right. Okay, and so I'm going to be flipping it over, lining it up at the bottom, and you've got that big wide thing at the top. And just keep on assembly line sewing it. All right. We going good? So, first I cut off all my tips and my floor was a terrible mess. And then I just said, forget it. I'll just leave them on there. Make the quilt extra warm, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have done many inset seams, but this is so much easier. Okay, Teresa, you can take that. And this is still a triangle. So, triangles are out. They're still out.
All right.
All right. Okay, so did it go, how is it?
It looks great.
It looks great. Good. If it didn't look great, I'd have to put my finger over it. I'll show you how wide it looks. It does look wide. It's not quite as wide at the top. Oh, look. See how wide it looks? Wider. Okay, and so let me give you this one. And, okay, one more. So, this is what you want. You want your line to be straight right along there. Is it? And if it were regular 3.5, nah, it'd be a big bump there. So you have to do that. Does this sound too complicated for you guys? Or are you with it? You're good? I want to know who's going, what is she doing? Okay? Okay, so that's half of it, right? Okay, and now we've got to go to the right side. And I'm just going to slide this over. It's really cool because this time we're still sewing on the big triangle. So we don't have to change our seam allowance, a little blessing here. Just pick it up right there and line it up. And this time, and what you have to do, your seam has to just, you've got this little square thing. Does your picture have that? Yeah. You've got that little square thing right up on the top, and when you start sewing, your needle has to start right in that. And look at your sew straight, because it's sticking over the right side. Okay. And so, whoop. 1, 2. Once I move these pieces, then I get lost. No. Okay. 1, 2. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So it helps. So I went to Quilters Hall of Fame since the last time I saw you. Mary Ann Fawns and Liz Porter were inducted into the Quilters Hall of Fame. And it was a really fun time. We had a good time. Got to go and see some old friends, and I found out about a lady from the 30s that they gave us her autobiography or her biography, and it was really fun because she sounded just like me. And that was really fun. I loved it. Her name was Mary McElwain, and she had this little shop, and it was all her story about how she did her marketing and everything. And I'm sitting there the whole time going, "Go, Mary!" It was really fun. Okay, so this is the diamond. Diamonds are in. See, you remember. Okay, so you have to set your seam with the diamond on the top. Okay, watch Teresa. You set the seam with the diamonds on the top, and then you just lift up and you'll press right into the diamond. Okay? Diamonds are in. These were the best that I could do. They're fake. I looked in my jewelry box. I have no diamonds. Not one diamond. And so it was really fun. Okay, so this tip is kind of in the way. What do you think? What do you think? It's a big old tip. Hey, you think I should get rid of it? Okay, well, you could use your rotary cutter and your ruler and cut those off, or you could just take your scissors and just cut them off straight. And see how everything lines up? Okay, now we have to add a small triangle. So what do I have to do? Small triangle. Small triangle is what seam?
Regular, 3.5.
Is Teresa the only one that knows? Little triangle.
Regular.
Does it tell you right there? No. Oh, but it did at one time. It's 3.5. 3.5. And that means this time when I do my seam at 3.5, it's regular. Yeah, it's regular. And I'm just using my, my guide. And do you believe this? But this is it. We're going to sew these pieces together now. Cool. Is that cool? Thank you. So just use your stiletto. Another tool that I love. Okay, Sylvia, how are you doing? You with it? Oh, she's telling her husband. Okay. Translating. And how are the men doing? They're asleep? Oh my, huh? No, they gave up. And Teresa's mom is sitting in the audience. Did she leave?
Walking around.
Oh, she's walking around. I wondered how she's doing.
I know.
Because it's kind of interesting. But anyhow, that's all the whole technique. All right, girl. You can take them. And that's it. Yes, ma'am.
Brenda is confused.
Okay.
But you're going to show her right now.
Yeah, I'm going to show you right now. Very important.
There it is.
Okay, so this, is this right? That's 1/4 of it, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking about seam allowance. Here are triangles. Triangles, the seam is pressed out. And now this is the right side. These are diamonds. Seams are pressed in. In. Diamonds are in. Okay, now if I turn these upside down, whoop, Can you see what's going to happen? The seams are going to lock together.
You're not confused anymore?
Is that easy or what? Okay, now watch this. This is what I love. Okay, so you guys, you go, okay, I got to get pins. I got to match these things. These are supposed to match right there, right? Forget that. Forget pins. Down with pins. So now I'm just going to, we're going to turn the page. Beep. Beep. This is the most exciting part, okay? So there they are, page 10, right? Okay, you take the piece on the right and flip it to the left. And right here, I just slide them into each other, okay? See these two seams? I just match them up and just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle so they lock. Match up the tips on the top. Got to have your tips that are hanging out. Okay, and down here, you just line up the bottom. 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, hold your breath. Roll the drums. Okay, and now, does it say you just sew this with 3.52? Your regular. And Teresa told me that when she did it, she was pretty skeptical because she changed the seam allowance a couple times. And what did you find out, Teresa?
It worked out perfect.
It worked out
I
perfect.
had to go and make one. She kept telling me to change the seams back and forth, and I said, oh, I don't like this. But I had to do it. And it worked out.
So now will you pull one that I made last night? I have the one that I made was the stripe. It was the really bad one.
This one you made last night?
No, that one I made last night. And look at this! Look at the stripe in the
you
middle.
haven't
Isn't
even
it fun?
finished
I know. I think it's such a fun one.
We haven't pressed it.
No, we haven't pressed it. So I found out from the first one there's a lot of bias and maybe it could be a little wonky. So now comes best press.
You want me, you want to wait?
Nope, I want you to get the best press.
Oh, well, there is my best press.
Okay, so Teresa
High
said, why have best press? Does it just smell good or what? It does a good smell, but it's pretty interesting. Okay, now I did swirl the seams, and she is going around each one of those seams and pressing them in a clockwise motion. And just press one, and it'll make the best press will help it lay flatter. Mush, yes,
Mush.
and then it's got the one in the center.
Very good job, Val.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I tried.
Look at that square.
Doesn't it look good?
Mm-hmm. It's flat.
I know.
And you know, with their with these wood mats, just after you press your block, you just let it cool off for a minute, and it really enhances all your seams down. Look, and it's nice and square. See it? And that's what I noticed with these wood mats. You just let it sit there. Don't pick it up right away, and then there it is.
There it is. Woo. Okay, so look at this. Ta-da! Let me see what time. It's 11 o'clock. We did a lot of talking. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this. I'm on number 3 on page 10. You're just going to set the seam across the top. It was, I think it's it's the left side, because look, how did the seams go? Because the seams go out.
Oh, so I need to do it this way?
No, you're right.
But
It's
the
right.
picture is that way.
Oh, yeah. You do have it backwards. Yeah, the
Okay.
right seam. The right
See, I was looking at your picture.
You did. It's the seam at number 3. The seams go into the diamond. Into the diamond. So she's just opening them up. You press toward the diamond, yeah. Yeah, and it's just so you can lock all the seams. Woo! I'm excited. We got another one. It tells you on page 5. And also I thought that I tried to get them written in there, but so you might be really smart to just go back and
Basically, the large triangle goes is wider, and the smaller one is regular.
yeah. Yeah, you'll see it right away. Okay, so are you trimming you just
Would
cut
you
them
like
apart?
me to?
Okay, we're gonna see if they match. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Ooh, that's one. That's not so good. That's 2. That's 3. Okay, this is just a little off, but I'll just show you. Oh. Okay, so this is one time you have to cut off your tips. Do you see this? We're going to put these all in the center. You have to cut off your tips. I don't care if you cut off your tips anywhere else, but this time you've got to cut them off. Okay, so now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. Is that pretty? Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and flip these right sides together. And once again, because we did seams out to the triangles, seams into the diamonds, this locks together. And you don't have to match anything in here. At the center, again, the seams are all going in opposite directions. So you're just going to go do, right? And while I do that, Teresa, do you have the lattice and the cornerstones?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's take a look at those. All right. So so I should tell you, actually, your block, I'm going to say you probably don't need to do a lot of squaring, but I did sliver trim. And I sliver trimmed, most of the blocks were around 10 1/4. So we cut our 2.5-inch jelly roll strips or roll strips into 2.5 by 10 1/4. Right? So Teresa, we just had some leftover pieces. Yeah, we found out that using the light in this with the dark wasn't as effective as medium. And that's why we suggest putting light strips in the lattice. Okay. Yeah, I'll square right now. I'm going to just show you right now. Ooh, I see something that's not quite right. Do you want to see it? I'll show you because I can fix it right now. Okay. So just now, I said, ooh, what is this sticking out for? Do you know why? My seam got too narrower. So I'm going to go this width and make it a little bit wider, and that'll pull that in. How's that? See, you thought I was perfect. I was thinking I was too. Darn it all. There's a lot to remember on this quilt, don't you think? There's a lot to remember, but once you get the idea with these blocks, you can just knock them out. I'm telling you, you can knock them out. Okay, so this is, we auditioned. Okay, so now I'm going to just push it out and see. Okay, like that, just going good. Now we can finish sewing this seam. But anyhow, we auditioned kind of a medium for the cornerstones, and the dark looks really good. Okay, so she's got her borders, her 2 colors of borders, and you can just do whatever you want in the borders. And also, you even have enough for binding. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of fun how Judy Jackson did that. And all that you really need to have left is your backing. So you need to have a 12.5-inch square up ruler. Can you show them? I'm sorry, I should have given this to you, Teresa. It's like, okay. Okay.
And square it up, see?
Okay, 12.5-inch square up ruler, and you can put the diagonal line right down through the center.
See the center right there?
And
then we're going to do this line right in the center.
okay, and so then you put it and you just trim the
And
right side.
That's such a little trim.
It's, yes, okay, show.
So you do not lose your point. See it?
Yes, that's the most important thing. You do not want to lose your
There
trim off your
you see in
seam.
every corner that you're not going to lose your points. Right there. Okay? So that's why we're going to do extremely little trim if you want to. Okay? See, look what she done. That's it all.
That's it.
That's her little points and trim. So that's all.
So we're using the word sliver trim. Did you trim it?
You want me to?
Yeah. So Teresa is left-handed, but
So I have to start. I can still do this way and this way, but then you flipped. See, look, that's very little. Trim it. Then you turn your block around and go the other side.
and just do the other
Just
two
the
sides.
other side too. Actually, this was like 10, so
It's like 10.
yeah, okay.
You
see
should
it?
try to, I didn't,
Measure several and
I did
see.
not tell you a number on that because I think if you just try to straighten the edges and just keep your seam allowance, then it would be good.
Yep.
Okay, finally. Just that one little thing, but it was worth it.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was worth it. Okay, so I went down the, so the top, now I have this seam right here, right in the middle. So now I'm just gonna flip it this way. They still lock together. At this seam here, I'm gonna push the top seam up and the underneath seam down. The top seam up and the underneath seam down. And that's gonna lock these together. And that even says it in the picture. Do you see it? All of the words and everything. Didn't Merritt do a good job on all the illustrations?
Yes.
He did. See how cool we unstitched these little seams in the center? You mush the center, you swirl the seams around the outside edge, and your star is beautiful.
Will you just
Okay, thank you. So, I don't know about you, but I think this is the coolest quilt that you can make out of strips, the Strippy star. Thank you.